hanggang ano na ako, first reading. Then papalit CBH. Palit na CBH. Ay, boss. Ah, second district of Ilocos Norte. By currents of business. Thank you. Pero brother ko na ano man daw, hindi naman. Ngayong hapon. The session is now called to order. May I request everybody to please rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka masisingil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baba, may ilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa'y magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng warangit mong sinta, buhay ay langit sa piling ko. Aming ligaya na patay mga akin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for the invocation to be led by the Honorable Representative Angelo Barba from the 2nd District of Ilocos Norte.
Let us all bow down our heads in an attitude of prayer. Father of all mankind, we ask you to look down upon your people and fill our hearts with your Spirit, that we may have the grace and the wisdom to look into ourselves, and in so doing, see our weaknesses and our strengths. Make us see what we are and what we could be. Open our eyes, our minds, and our hearts to the things that need to be done, and the things we can do to make this rich and beautiful land a joy and comfort to our people. We have set for ourselves great and never-ending tasks. Stand by us in our labors and teach us not to weary nor to lose faith, neither to seek reward, but rather to see in our work the full measure of our own reward, and to see in it the full expression of ourselves. When the day's toil is ended, teach us to look to the morrow's labor as part of our continuing sacrifice. Make us a sturdy race, self-reliant, cheerful, and upright. Teach those who lead to act with firmness, but with humility, wisdom, justice, and compassion. Teach those who follow the true duties of being men and being members of a community of men. Cleanse us of our anger, our bitterness, and our recriminations of the past. Spare us the doubts and anxieties of the present. Purify us for our sacrifices, that we may nurture and raise a people who will be their own strength today and their own warranty for the future. Amen.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we call the roll of members. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to call the roll of members.
Roll call of members. Honorable Representatives Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg Saldivar, Abunda, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Genaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilia, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Kawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredenil, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizaldi, Co Juanco, Colliantes, Crisologo, Cua, Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino Ino, Di Faustino Michael, Di Ian, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Goed, Gomart, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Goresata, Gico, Gulyas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halosos, Javier, Jimenez, Co Elisa, Co Wilton, Kunghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Mumu, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanaon, Oaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Owano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Martin, Romualdez Ieda, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tambunting, Sanchez, Sangcopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Savellano, Shaw, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuwat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alaysa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Chutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate Zubiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 298 members responded to the call.
With 298 members responding to the call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. The Honorable Majority Floor Leader.
Sir Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business. May I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill's resolution on first reading as well as communication and committee reports. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as the communications and committee reports for referral to the appropriate committees.
Reference of business, resolutions, House Resolution 2386, urging the proper committee of the House to inquire and investigate on the failure of the Philippines to acquire a grant from the United States of America's Millennium Challenge Corporation due to a finding of rampant corruption in government by Representatives Villanueva Eduardo and Rivera.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2387, urging the DepEd and the DOH to consider piloting face-to-face classes in urban centers subject to the conditions set forth under Department Memorandum Number 71, Series of 2021, by Representative Romulo.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
Communications, letter dated October 28, 2021 of the COA to Quezon City Regional Director, furnishing the House copies of their annual audit reports and management letter for the year ending December 31st, 2020 on certain water districts.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 29, 2021 of the COA Chairperson, furnishing the House with copies of their annual audit reports on certain government corporations.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 29, 2021 of the NIA Administrator, submitting to the House a copy of their calendar year 2021 third quarter progress report of NIA Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, Irrigation Component for Mindanao Sustainable Agrarian and Agricultural Development Project.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
Email dated November 23, 2021 of the Batangas Provincial Accountant, notifying the House that certain reports as of October 31st, 2021 attested by the Batangas Provincial Governor were posted on their official website.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Committee reports. Report number 1354 of the Committee on Youth and Sports Development on House Resolution 2389. Report number 1355 of the Committee on Poverty Alleviation on House Resolution 2390. Report number 1356 of the Committees on Higher and Technical Education and Appropriations on House Bill number 10560, Report number 1357 of the Committees on Higher and Technical Education, Appropriations, and Ways and Means on House Bill number 10561, Report number 1358 of the Committee on Natural Resources on House Bill number 10564, Report number 1359 of the Committees on Basic Education and Culture, Youth and Sports Development and Appropriations on House Bill number 10567, Report number 1360 of the Special Committee on Senior Citizens and the Committee on Ways and Means on House Bill number 10568, Report number 1361 of the Committee on Human Rights on House Bill number 10569, Report number 1362 of the Committees on Tourism and Appropriations on House Bill number 10570, Report number 1363 of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education on House Resolution 2395.
All aforementioned committee reports are referred to the Committee on Rules. The Honorable Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, today being Monday and pursuant to our rules, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Is there any objection? Chair is done. The chair declares a privilege hour.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to recognize Representative Arnulfo Arnie Teves Jr., Deputy Speaker, 3rd District of Negros Oriental, for his privileged speech.
The Honorable Representative Arnulfo Arnie Teves, Deputy Speaker from the 3rd District of Negros Oriental, is hereby recognized for his privileged speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, everybody. I rise here again today to speak on a matter that is very important for the whole country. Napansin ko kasi ngayon, sana lang huwag tumamasamain ang lahat ng COMELEC at ng sino man. Wala akong pinapatamaang tao para lang to sa kaayusan at kabutihan ng buong bansa. Napansin ko kasi, karamihan ng mga application, ng mga filing ng certificates of candidacy, nirarason parati ministerial. Sa tingin ko nga, hindi na tinitingnan eh. Hindi na binabasa, or kung binabasa man, ewan ko kung nilalagyan ng due diligence or what. What am I trying to drive at? Bakit lahat ng problema pinapasa sa National COMELEC? Iilan lang yung tao na employed sa National COMELEC. Kawawa naman. Di ba? Hindi naman pwede natin ibigay kay Chairman Abbas lahat. Kaya nga may katulong si Chairman Abbas, may mga provincial election officers para tumulong sa trabaho. Anong sinasabi ko? Kung yung nagfa-file walang residency, doon pa lang dapat hindi na tinatanggap. Kung yung nagfa-file 4th term na or pang-5 term na, doon pa lang dapat hindi na tinatanggap. Kung yung nagfa-file convicted criminal, dokumentado naman yung conviction, dapat doon pa lang hindi na tinatanggap. Hindi na kailangan kasuhin yun eh. Parang ano lang yan, di ba? May isang tao na nakabaril, I don't know what's the correct term in law, parang in flagrante something. Di ba, kitang-kita na gumawa siya ng krimen, hindi na kailangan kasuhan. Dun, right there and then, dapat hinuhuli na. Hindi ko lang alam gaano kadami ang nangyayaring ganito. At hindi ko rin alam kung kakayanin ng National COMELEC na iresolba lahat ng ganitong problema na dapat naman hindi na pinapaabot sa opisina nila sa taas. Paano pag may isang foreigner na nag-file? Tatanggapin ba ng COMELEC natin? Sasabihin ba nila, ministerial, we have to accept, we have to take his application, his certificate of candidacy because it's ministerial? Hindi naman siguro. Di ba? You have to be a Filipino to be able to file a certificate of candidacy. Next, kung walang residency yung tao, bakit tatanggapin pa? You have to be a 1-year resident of that area to be able to file for candidacy. Yun, hindi na dapat pinapaabot sa COMELEC yun. Ito ha, sa distrito ko, nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan ng kapitan, merong isang kapitan na naka 4th term. Nanalo siya. I think right now he's sitting on his 4th term. What happened? Excuse me. On his 3rd term, he resigned voluntarily. When he filed on the next election, walang nagreklamo. Nanalo siya, nakaupo siya. Pwede ba yun? Matanong ko nga sa COMELEC, pwede ba yun? At isa bang gusto ko itanong, ilang ganon ang nangyari sa buong Pilipinas? Hindi lang yun eh. The mistakes compound. Why? Because you are not eligible for a 4th term, but you were allowed to sit on your 4th term. Tumanggap ka ng sweldo, tumanggap ka ng benepisyo. Sino ngayon mananagot dito? Kaninong kasalanan ito? Kasalanan ba ito ng kandidato? Or kasalanan ito ng tao ng COMELEC na tumanggap ng COC? They can check this out in the records. I don't even know if that kapitan is kakampi ko or hindi, but it's not about politics. It's about what is proper and what is not. Cambukad, Valencia, Negros Oriental. Pakicheck lang, COMELEC, bakit nangyayari ito? Ngayon, paano pag yung hindi dapat mag-file, naka-file at nanalo, katulad nung nangyari sa isa kong barangay? Ano na nangyari sa batas natin? Ba't gumawa pa tayo ng batas ng ng 3 terms? 'Di ba? Kung gano'n lang, tanggalin na natin yung 3 term limit. Dahil pwede pala lumusot eh. Kung walang residency, pwede palang tanggalin na natin yung residency limit. Kahit sino sa buong mundo pwede na mag-file sa Pilipinas. Mali, 'di ba? Sana lang mapakinggan itong sinasabi ko at magawa ng paraan agad-agad. Why? I don't want non-eligible people having their names on our ballots. Because their names have no place in our ballots. More than 3 terms, convicted felons, and non-residents. If anybody here, anybody in this country disagrees with me, magsabi kayo na dapat ilagay sa balota itong mga taong ito. Basta sa alam ko at sa batas natin, sigurado ako na hindi ito dapat nalalagay sa balota natin ang mga taong ganito. Again, I call on our people on the COMELEC, more so the ones on the ground, tulungan naman natin yung mga opisyal natin sa nasyonal. Huwag naman natin, o sa Bisaya pa, ayaw ihansakta ng trabaho sa nasyonal. Kanang trabaho nga, pwede na ninyo himuon sa inyong lugar, himuan na. Gawin nyo na yung mga trabaho na kaya nyong gawin, yung due diligence at lahat, para ang umaabot sa top management, yung kailangan na lang na sila ang magtrabaho. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that the privileged speech of Deputy Speaker Arnulfo Arnie Teves Jr. of the 3rd District of Negros Oriental be referred to the Committee on Rules.
There's a motion, hearing no objection. The privileged speech of Deputy Speaker Arnie Teves is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Abraham Bambol Tolentino of the 8th District of Cavite for his privileged speech.
The Honorable Bambol Tolentino of the 8th District of Cavite is hereby recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This representation will speak about the missed opportunity in this World Expo 2020 that would last till March next year. Madam Presiding Officer, di ko naman po sinasabi na hindi maganda yung presentation ng Philippine Pavilion sa Dubai. Yes, it was designed by a known architect, Pineda. What's inside are different designs by different artists, including our national artist, Imaw. Ang pinagtataka ko lang po, Madam Presiding Officer, bakit sinayang ang opportunity? I was in Dubai 2 weeks ago to attend the Olympic Council of Asia. So during the break, I was able to visit the World Expo for 5 days. Out of 198 countries, I was able to visit 138 countries, different pavilions. Definitely, the Philippine Pavilion was not designed by DOT. Dahil kung DOT po ang nag-design nun, ang nangasiwa nun, siguradong nandun ang Boracay, siguradong nandun ang Tubata Harif, siguradong nandun ang Ifugao, Mayon Volcano. Wala po, bakit po ba? Masama po bang ibenta uli ang ating bansa? Tulad ng ibang bansa na kanilang pavilion? Just give me one country and I'll tell you kung ano pong dinisplay nila doon. Like United States, dinisplay nila yung history. Dinisplay nila yung Lincoln Memorial, all the national parks, etc. Up to the end, the SpaceX. Bakit po pagdating sa Pilipinas, hindi ko po sinasabing hindi maganda. All symbolism and representation. Lahat po ng papasok nagtatanong, ano yun? Lahat po ng lumabas, ano yun? Yes, it was designed by Imaw. Pero mag-i-interpret pa tayo kung ano ibig sabihin nun, the past and the future, etc. Kung hindi po natin kaya yung mga robotics, mga air taxis, etc., di sana ang nilagay na lang yung mga tribal from Mindanao, tribal dresses, national costumes, all our beautiful beaches, all our dive sites, di ba, number 1 po yun sa buong mundo, lahat. Bakit ikinahihiya po ba natin yun? Remember, ito pong World Expo is every 5 years. Kaya ko po sinasabi, Madam Speaker, sana naman sa susunod, 2025, sa Osaka, paghandaan nila. Bakit po yung ibang bansa, hindi sila nahihiyang ibenta uli ang mga magaganda nilang tanawin? Number 1 na ba tayo sa turista at hindi natin ipapakita yung ating mga tourist spots? Di ba? Eh baka po maganda pa yung pag nanood kayo ng Dayaw ni Deputy Speaker Loren Legarda. Bakit hindi na lang humiram sa Ayala Museum? Baka mas maganda pa yon. Bakit hindi na lang pinakita yung si Lolong doon, pinakamalaking crocodile sa buong mundo? Nakakapanghinayang po yung opportunity na yon, Madam Speaker. Lalong-lalo na po yung ibang bansa na naikutan ko, ipinakita pa nila yung mga huling naka-gold medalist sa Olympic nila. Pinagmamalaki nila. Sa atin, hindi man lang natin ipakita. Even those world champions, nandiyan naman si Paeng Nepomuceno, nandiyan naman si Efren Bata. Kung hindi nga lang eleksyon, dapat nga yung kay Manny rin dahil 8 world champion din sa boxing yung tao. Bakit po kaya ganon? Nasayang po ang malaki ang oportunidad na dapat nakita rin ng buong mundo kung ano po yung kagandahan ng Pilipinas. Ewan ko kung may kumita pa dito o ano, tandaan po natin, hanggang March pa po yun, pupuntahan ng mga tao. Hindi ko po sinasabing hindi maganda, kulang po yung pinakita ng Pilipinas. Nakakagulat nga po nung makita ko. Durog na nga po yung Syria, nakapagpalagay pa sila ng magandang pavilion. Ang haba ng pila sa papasok sa Afghanistan. Kahit po may financial crisis sa Lebanon, maganda pa rin yung pinakita nila. Sa atin, ang lahat po ng pumapasok, lumalabas, karamihang narinig ko, ano yun? Pinag-isip pa, this symbolizes, this represent, blah, blah, blah. Bakit ganun? Bakit hindi lang pinakita yung vegan, mga heritage, UNESCO heritage? Di po ba? O kahit history, remember, 500 years na tayo. Kahit pinakita man lang, ng hiraman lang sa National Museum, I don't know. Ito po ay isang paalala, Madam Speaker, na sa next World Expo sa Osaka, another 5 years, pinaghahandaan po yan. Kailangan po nating ipakita yung kagandahan ng Pilipinas. Pwede pong ipagmalaki ng Pilipinas. Sayang po ang pagkakataon. After Osaka 2025, 2030, Moscow. Siguro naman makakabelo na. So ito po ay isang paalala at I don't know kung sino po ang ahensya ng gobyerno na nagpunong abala sa World Expo 2020. I think it's a DTI, then merong isang agency and DTI na nag-handle po nito. That's all, Madam Speaker, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Congressman Bumble, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I would like to move that the privileged speech of Representative Abraham Bumble Tolentino of the 8th District of Cavite be referred to the Committee on Rules.
There's a motion here, no objection. The privileged speech of Chairman Bumble Tolentino is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Deputy Speaker Bumble Tolentino. Yes,
Madam-
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize Party List Representative ACT Teachers, Representative Franz Castro.
The Honorable Franz Castro of ACT Teachers Party List is hereby recognized. You may proceed.
Maraming salamat at magandang hapon po, Madam Speaker, at sa ating mga kababayan at syempre sa ating mga kapwa kinatawan. Sa darating na Disyembre 10 ay gugunitain ng buong mundo ang araw ng karapatang pantao. Ngunit patuloy pa rin yung mga paglabag sa mga karapatang pantao, lalo na sa unyon ng mga guro. Ilan sa mga teacher leader ng unyon ang kinasuhan ng mga gawa-gawang kaso, biktima ng red tagging, profiling, surveillance, harassment, at pinaparatangan pang mga terorista. Dahil lamang sa kanilang mga pinaglalaban, advokasya para sa karapatan at kagalingan ng mga guro at buong sektor ng edukasyon. Madam Speaker, sa kasalukuyan, nakapagtala na ang Alliance of Concerned Teachers ng 46 na kaso ng mga illegal profiling, 18 incidents of death threats, intimidation, and harassments against their leaders. December 2018 pa lamang po ay nagsimula na ang profiling sa Alliance of Concerned Teachers at nagtatanim ito ng takot sa mga miyembro at ng mga leaders. Police officers made rounds in public schools requesting for list of ACT members, asking who among our faculty are ACT members, and even inquiring into specific individuals in some incidents. Ayon nga sa statement ng Commission on Human Rights. Ang mga profiling na ito ay unlawful, unconstitutional, and discriminatory. Maliban sa profiling, nagkaroon din ng seminars at mga fora ang National Task Force to End Local Communist Conflict kasama ng NICA na nire-red tag ang mga legitimate na mga union ng mga guro na isa na namang tahasang paglabag sa karapatang pantao at karapatan nila sa malayang pag-oorganisa bilang union. Tulad ni Teacher Ofelia na isang public school teacher at presidente ng ACT Region 10 Union kasama ng 16 pang human rights defenders na kinasuhan sa Cagayan de Oro ng destructive arson, kidnapping, and robbery. At ito lamang Disyembre 2021 at Nobyembre 2021 na dismiss ang kanilang kaso na nagsimula pa ng 2019. Napag-alaman po na na-dismiss na yung kaso ni Ma'am Ofelia ngayong November, pero June pa lang po pala ay dismiss na ito. Pero nagdulot ito ng matagal na trauma kay Ma'am. In fact, napilitan na nga itong mag-resign. Dahil sa patuloy pa rin, kahit na kinasuhan, ay patuloy pa rin itong tinatakot, patuloy pa rin itong nakakatanggap ng mga death threats. Isa pang guro na leader ng Alliance of Concerned Teachers ay itong si Ma'am Lai. Si Teacher Lai na matagal na ring guro sa pampublikong paaralan at sa kasalukuyan ay Assistant Principal ng San Vicente National High School sa Butuan at Union Secretary ng ACT Region 13 o ng Caraga. Sinampahan siya ng mga gawa-gawang kasong attempted homicide ng isang sundalo at CAFGU member. Pero ito lamang 2021 ay na-dismiss din ang kanyang kaso dahil sa na mga trump-up cases na hindi naman mapatunayan. So, nagdulot din ito ng trauma, at epekto sa kanyang mental, pati yung kanyang yung kanyang special child ay talagang naapektuhan din dito sa nangyari kay Ma'am Lai. Ayon sa tala ng Alliance of Concerned Teachers, sabi nila, where circumstances allow state forces have resorted to fabricating legal cases to detain members of ACT. Many of these false charges are made to be serious, non-bailable kind. The better to exhaust and frustrate the legal means of the arrested individuals. The organization is monitoring at least 11 trump-up charges made against 8 of its leaders and members. Madam Speaker, these charges were meant to harass and silence critics and criminalize basic rights of teachers and ordinary Filipino to organize and demand accountability from the government. Ganito po ang trato sa ating mga kaguruan. Patuloy ang panggigipit at pananakot sa mga guro, lalo na ang mga pagpapatuloy at lalo na ang mga nagpapatuloy na manindigan para sa socio-ekonomikong mga karapatan at kapakanan ng mga guro. Hindi na nga po tinupad ang pangakong salary increase para sa mga guro, ngunit patuloy pa rin po ang administrasyon sa pag-target sa malaking organisasyon ng mga guro gaya ng ACT at ang mga unyon nito. Sa ilalim ng 1987 Constitution, ginagarantihan nito ang right to association and freedom of expression. Ngunit ang ginagawang kabi-kabilang human rights violation ng administrasyong ito at ng kanyang state forces sa mga guro, nawawalan na sila ng karapatang pantao at sinisikil ang kanilang mga unyon. Nananawagan ang mga guro, Madam Speaker, sa Department of Education din na suportahan ang mga guro at huwag maging mekanismo ng NTF-ELCAC sa patuloy na red tagging at vilification ng unyon ng mga guro. Dapat makinig ang DepEd sa mga lehitimo at napapanahong hiling sa panawagan ng mga guro sa nakabubuhay na sahod at makatarungang benepisyo lalo na sa patuloy na pandemya. Kaya po, Madam Speaker, sa darating na araw na karapatang pantao, patuloy na igigiit ng mga guro ang kanilang mga karapatan at patuloy na lalahok sa sama-samang pagkilos sa darating na Disyembre 10 para ang muling igiit itong mga karapatan at patuloy na labanan itong mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao ng ating mga guro. Yun lang po, Madam Speaker, at muli magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Speaker, we may refer the speech of Representative Castro to the Committee on Rules. So move, Madam Speaker.
There's a motion, hearing no objection. The privileged speech of Congresswoman Castro is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize Representative Euphemia Kulamat for her speech.
The Honorable Euphemia Kuliamat of Bayan Muna Party List is hereby recognized. You may proceed. You may proceed.
Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker. Itigil ang aerial bombing, itigil ang terorismo ng Estado sa kanayunan. Bilang Speaker, kapwa kong pinatawan, isang mapanghamong hapon sa ating lahat. Ginang Speaker, narito ako ngayon upang magsalita tungkol sa dinaranas ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino sa kanayunan sa gitna ng pandemya at pananalasa ng terorismo. Noong December 1 ay nabalitaan natin ang nakakapanindig balahibong pambubumba ng mga AFP sa Sitio Burak, Barangay Alimodias, Niagaw, Iloilo, na ikinamatay na hindi bababa ng 8 katao. Sa kalagitnaan ng alas 5 at alas 6 ng umaga, ayon sa isang konsihal sa Nayon, narinig ang malaking pagsabog at naramdaman pa ang pagyanig ng lupa sa mahigit 1 kilometro ang layo matapos lumipad ang 2 sasakyang panghimpapawid sa kanilang mga komunidad. Ayon din sa mga ulat, ginang Speaker, nagpaulan ng bomba ang mga armadong persa ng Estado sa bayan ng Barangay Alimudias na nag-iwan ng napakalaking bakas sa lupa. Lakas ng mga pagsabog, ayon sa mga ulat, aabot sa 15 talampakan ang lalim at 20 talampakan ang lapad nito at ang isa ay 3 talampakan ang lalim at 10 talampakan ang lapad. Ginang Speaker, ang pambubumbang ito ay labag sa pandaigdigan at makataong batas. Ang mga bomba na inihagis ng mga armadong Persa mula sa himpapawid ay hindi man lang inalam kung armado ba o sibilyan ang tatamaan. Ito ay tinatawag na indiscriminate bombing, kung kaya't nilalabag nito ang mga patakaran ng pakikidigma. Bukod dito, labis-labis ang pagkawasak na idinudulot ng mga pambubumbang ito sa mga tao, sa gubat, sa mga hayop, sa halaman at mga pananim na matatagpuan dito. Malaki ang epekto nito sa kabuhayan ng mga residente dahil sa mga posibleng maidudulot sa pagkasira ng mga sakahan. Lumikha din ito ng matinding takot at trauma na hindi basta-bastang mabura sa mga isipan sapagkat matinding terror ang iniiwan nito sa mga taga-Alimonia, Miag-Ao. Ginang Speaker, hindi ito ang unang bisis na naiulat ang aerial bombing sa Kanayunan. Noong 2013 at 2017, naibalita ang pambubumba sa mga komunidad sa Abra. Nasira ang mga pananim ng mga residente at nasunog ang ilang bahagi ng gubat. Noong 2019, puwersahang lumikas at lubhang naapektuhan ang mga lokal na mga magsasaka ng paulanan ng F-50 fighter jet ng mga bomba ang barangay Kaputuan, Las Navas, Samar. Nasira ang mga pananim ng mga residente at nawasak ang mga kabubatan ni hindi sila makabalik sa sakahan dahil sa matinding takot at pangamba. Kung susuriin natin, Ginang Speaker, hindi ba't walang pinag-iba ito sa mga teroristikong atake laban sa mga mamamayan? At masahol lamang ang may pakana pa nito ay Estado at pinupunduhan ito gamit ng buwis ng taong bayan na kung saan pira ito ay nagmumula sa pawis ng ordinaryong mamamayan. Ibinuhos sa pagwasak sa buhay at kabuhayan ng mga naghihirap ng mga magsasaka sa Kanayunan. Carnage, kung tawagin, sa human rights group sa Panay ang naganap na pambubumba. Sa nasabing ulat pa ay tila corned beef ang itsura ng ibang bangkay. Hindi ba't ito ang terorismo? Pwersahang pagpatag ng mga kabundukan nang walang konsiderasyon sa epekto sa mga sibilyan o sa posibleng kalabisan na naidudulot nito sa binabansagang rebelde. Ito ang terorismo ng Estado na nagpapahirap sa mga Pilipino. Tinutugis ng gobyerno ang mga magsasaka, mga manggagawa, mga katutubo at mga ordinaryong Pilipino na nangahas, tumindig at maging kritikal ng mga pulisiya nitong anti-mamamayan. Binabansagan silang terorista, ngunit ang armadong persa ng Estado din ang mala terorista na siyang walang habas na nagpapaulan ng bomba sa mga sibilyan at mga magsasaka. Ginang Speaker, kailan ay hindi madadaan sa dahas ang pagresolba ng mga suliranin sa lipunan? Kaugat ng dekadang armadong tunggalian. Kahit ilang libong bomba pa ang gamitin, hindi nito mabibigyang solusyon ang tunggalian kung mananatiling walang lupa ang mga magsasaka, walang kasiguruhan sa trabaho ang mga manggagawa, pinapalaya sa mga lupang ninuno ang mga katutubo at mga pambansang minorya at kumakalamnat yan sa milyon-milyong Pilipino. Ang kailangan natin ay komprehensibo at batayang sosyo-ekonomikong pagbabago, hindi ang walang habas na pambubomba. Mariing ang aming panawagan, itigil ang aerial bombing, itigil ang terorismo ng Estado. Ito lamang po, Madam Speaker. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Congresswoman Kulimat. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of Honorable Euphemia Kapemia Kolyama to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. I so move, Madam Speaker.
There's a motion, hearing no objection. The speech of Representative Kulimat is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Sarah Jane Ilago, Party List Kabataan, to avail her privilege hour.
The Honorable Sarah Ilago is hereby recognized. You may proceed.
Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker. Isang makabayan na pagbati mula sa kabataan. Sa darating na ika-10 ng Desyembre, ang paggunita ng Araw ng mga Karapatang Pantao, muli na namang magpapahayag ang kabataan ng kanilang malaki na paninindigan at commitment sa pagtatanggol ng karapatang pantao. Nagsimula itong gunitain kada taon mula noong taong 1948 kung kailan makasaysayang na pagtibay ng pangkalatang kapulungan ng mga bansang nagkakaisa ang pandaigdig na pahayag ng mga karapatang pantao. Pinahayag ng unang artikulo nito na ang lahat ng tao'y isinilang na malaya at pantay-pantay sa karangalan at mga karapatan. Sila'y pinagkalooban ng katwiran at puti at dapat magpalagayan ang isa't isa sa diwa ng pagkakapatiran. Ito, Madam Speaker, ay nagsilbing inspirasyon sa maraming kabataan upang pagsikapan ang lubos na pagkamit ng mga karapatang pantao at mga batayang kalayaan ng lahat. Dahil ang mga ito ay nagbibigay ng kapangyarihan at kakayahan sa kanila, sa mga kabataang Pilipino, upang makapag-ambag sa kaunlaran ng politika, ekonomiya at kultura ng kanilang mga bansa. Isa na rito si Sasa Santa Rosa, naging estudyante ng Ateneo de Naga University at naging tagapagsalita ng mga kabataang may kolektibong atsikain para sa karapatan sa lupa, disenteng trabaho, nakabubuhay na sahod, abot kamay na dekalidad na edukasyon, at iba pang mga matagal ng panawagan ng sambayanang Pilipino para sa tunay na panatag at masaganang buhay. Walang ibang hangad si Sasa, kundi ang idagdag ang kanyang boses sa lahat ng mga kabataan at estudyanteng kumikilos para sa positibong pagbabago para sa kapwa at sa komunidad. Ngayong taon, Madam Speaker, isa rin po si Sasa sa mga nakaranas ng mga walang batayan at hindi makatwirang detensyon matapos siyang sampahan ng mga gawa-gawang kaso noong Mayo. Dahil sa walang sawang suporta, dasal at pagpupursige ng kanyang pamilya, mga abogado, mga tumulong na kawani, law students, at kanyang mga kasamahan na kabataan sa Anak Bayan at One Big Fight for Human Rights and Democracy, gayon din ang iba't ibang sektor at grupo. Sa wakas, Madam Speaker, nito lamang Oktubre, matapos ang 6 na buwan na detensyon, malaya na si Sasa Santa Rosa, na naig din ang katotohanan, ngunit hindi pa tapos ang laban. Nandiyan din ang banta ng mga gawa-gawang kaso laban sa kabataan na si Justin Mesias, ang tagapagsalita ng Youth Act Now Against Tyranny Bicol. Siya ay namuno rin sa iba't ibang kampanya at advokasya mula sa pagtindig para sa kapakanan ng mga estudyante at pagtindig sa karapatang pantao, gayon din sa pagtulong sa mga komunidad na nasalanta ng sunod-sunod na kalamidad, lalo na sa gitna ng pandemya. Si Justin Macias ay naging target rin ng naiulat na iligal na paghahalughog at pagtatanim ng mga ebidensya ng mga law enforcement agents mismo sa kanilang lumang bahay. Hindi na mapagtatakpan ang ganitong modus operandi na ginagamit upang lubos na patahimikin at pagkaitan ng kalayaan ang maraming human rights defenders, trade union organizers, at iba pang mga nagsasalita, nagpapahayag, nag-oorganisa, at kumikilos laban sa abuso, diskriminasyon, at injustisya tulad ni Justin Macias. Patunay po dito, Madam Speaker, basura ng mga kaso sa 2 sa 10 nategori ang human rights statement. Sila po ay unang sinet up ng mga di umanong mga gun runner, gayong sila ay mga journalists, labor at communities na nakaranas ng mga parehong modus operandi ng panunupil at rasismo. Isa na rito, Madam Speaker, si Romina Cham Astudillo. Siya ay naging second nominee ng Kabataan Party List para sa 2016 elections. Noong panahon na siya rin ay nagsilbi bilang chairperson ng College Editors Guild of the Philippines Metro Manila Chapter. Napakalaki ng ambag ni Cham at ng CEGP sa pagpasa ng mga landmark laws mismo ng kapulungan ng ito para sa libreng edukasyon, pagigiit ng panukala para sa campus press freedom at ng lumaon bilang writer, advocate at trade unionist para sa pambansang minimum na sahod, pagwawakas ng endo at kontraktualisasyon. Madam Speaker, mag-iisang taon na mula nang siya ay pagkaitan ng kalayaan. Talagang hindi makatwiran at makatarungan ang nararanasan ngayon ni Cham. Hindi gun runner si Cham, hindi kriminal si Cham. Si Cham ay isang huwarang kabataan na hindi pinalikuran ang gampanin ng mga kabataan na lumaban sa abuso at pagsasamantala. Madam Speaker, sa tala ng representasyong ito ng kabataan, mayroon pang mga katulad ni Cham na nananatili sa detensyon hanggang sa ngayon dahil sa napakabagal na pag-usad ng kanilang mga kaso. Kaya naman, sa pagunita ngayong taon ng Araw ng mga Karapatang Pantao, kaisa tayo ng lahat ng nananawagan upang itigil na ang political persecution at lahat ng mga atake sa mga human rights defenders. Palayain na ang mga bilanggong politikal, ibasura ang mga gawa-gawang kaso, at panagutin ang lahat ng mga nasa likod nito. Naninindigan kami at buong tiwala na mananaig rin ang katotohanan. Katulad ni Sasa Santa Rosa, makakalaya rin ang mga Cham, ng mga kabataan, mga Pilipinong nagsusulong ng advokasya para sa pagtugon ng mga karaingan at pangangailangan ng mamamayan. Sa pagsisimula rin, Madam Speaker, ng National Human Rights Consciousness Week, patuloy na palawakin ang kaalaman at kabulatan hinggil sa kahalagahan ng karapatang pantao, sa dignidad ng tao at sa demokrasya sa ating lipunan. Tunay na napapanahon rin ang tema ng International Human Rights Day sa taong ito, na all human, all equal. Kaya para sa lipunan na may katarungan at mapayapa, manindigan para sa pagkapantay-pantay at pagkamit ng karapatang pantao. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Congresswoman Ilago. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the privileged speech of Representative Sara Jane Ilago of the Party List Kabataan to the Committee on Rules.
There's a motion here, no objection. The privileged speech of Congresswoman Ilago is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we terminate the privilege hour.
Hearing no objection, the privilege hour is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration on third reading of House Bill 4553, and may request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter to call for the nominal voting. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
House Bill Number 4553, an act further amending Article 70 of Act Number 3815, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code as amended. Roll call of members in consideration on third reading of House Bill Number 4553. Abante, Abaya, Villanosa, Abu, Abeg, Saldivar, Abunda, Costa, Costa Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Gabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez, France, Alvarez, Genaro, Alvarez, Pantaleon, Amante, Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Mentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas, Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barsaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondoc, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro, Franz, Castro, Fredenil, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Co Juanco, Colliantes, Crisologo, Cuwa, Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Ni Mamporo Abdullah, Ni Mamporo Khalid, Duavit Duhali Duterte, Di Faustino Ino, Di Faustino Michael, Di Ian, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Eriel, Ermita Buhay, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Goed, Gomark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Goriseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Haloso, Xavier, Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim, Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatong, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanaon, Owaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Roni, Ordanes, Ortega, Uwano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramirasato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Martin, Romualdez Sieda, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tambunting, Sanchez, Angcopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Saveliano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuwat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alaysa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Chutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Victoria, Unavia, Ungab, Oy Juliet, Oy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waykurat, Zarate Zubiri.
Madam Speaker, my vote is no at ako po ay magpapaliwanag sa aking boto mamaya.
Noted.
Second call for consideration on third reading of House Bill Number 4553. Abante, Abaya, Bellanosa, Abunda, Costa Alba, Agaraw, Alonte, Alvarez, Pantaleon, Amatong, Arenas, Aumentado, Bagatsing, Bañas Nograles, Bautista Bandigan, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bulot, Kabatbat, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Co Juanco, Colliantes, Cueva, Dalipe, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Maporo Abdullah, Duavit, Duhali, Enverga, Erice, Ermita Buhain, Espino, Fariñas Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Fortun, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Vincent, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gonzaga, Gonzales Sandro, Gico, Haresco, Hernandez, Co Wilton, Konghun, Lagman, Lagon, Liachon, Legarda, Loyola, Malapitan, Mangudadatong, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Mendoza, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nograles, Juan, Nunez Malanaon, Uwaminal, Ong Jose, Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Kimbo, Revilla, Rivera, Roman, Romero, Roque, Sakdalan, Sangcopan, Sinsuwat, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Torres Gomez, Tupas, Chotor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Uy Juliet, Veloso, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Eduardo, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, and Villarica.
with 167 members voting in the affirmative, 7 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, House Bill number 4553 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we reopen the privilege hour.
Madam Speaker, may I just...
Merong nag-offer ng explanation of vote, Majority Leader.
I withdraw my motion, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Zarate for his explanation of
The
votes.
Honorable Zarate is hereby recognized. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Bumuboto ng no ang kinatawan na ito sa House Bill number 4553. Tinutulan natin at ng bayan muna ang tangkang pagtanggal ng limitasyon ng 4 na taon na pagkakakulong. Madam Speaker, hindi makatarungan ang literal na habang buhay na pagkakakulong, lalo pa at sa Pilipinas, lalo pa at tiyak na mahihirap lamang ang kadalasang mabibiktima nito. Kamakailan, Madam Speaker, ay namatay ang isang political detainee, si Antonio Molina, political prisoner na kinulong dahil sa mga gawa-gawang kaso. Kapag mahirap, kahit may cancer, katulad ni Tatay Tonyo, ay hindi pinayagang palayain. Pero kapag may mayayaman, may kapangyarihan, kurap, magnanakaw, pinapalaya for health and humanitarian reasons. Madam Speaker, restorative and rehabilitative aspects of penal justice ang dapat na pinapatupad natin sa ating bansa. At hindi ang katulad ng panukalang batas na ito na isang punitive, bagay lamang sa isang punitive legal system. Kaya sa kadahilan ng ito, muli, Madam Speaker, itinatala ng kinatawang ito ang kanyang botong no sa House Bill number 4553. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Congressman Zarate. Majority Leader.
I-open ko.
Session suspended. Hello. Hi, boss. Okay, nasa lunch daw kayo kanina. Monday, hindi Wednesday. Okay. Sabi ko, excuse me, Monday.
Okay na? Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of a letter dated November 29, 2021 from Major General Mau Ranada Aplasca, retired, informing the Speaker of the House of his resignation as Sergeant-at-Arms of the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, in view of the foregoing, I move that we accept the resignation of Sergeant-at-Arms Aplasca. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved. The resignation of Sergeant-at-Arms Aplasca is hereby accepted.
Mr. Speaker, in view of the acceptance of the resignation of former Sergeant-at-Arms General Aplasca, I move that we proceed to the election of the new Sergeant-at-Arms of the House of Representatives. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? There being none, the election of the new Sergeant-at-Arms of the House of Representatives is now in order. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we elect Police Brigadier General Rodelio B. Hoxon, retired, as Sergeant-at-Arms of the House of Representatives. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? There being none, Police Brigadier General Rodelio B. Hoxon is hereby elected Sergeant-at-Arms of the House of Representatives. May request Sergeant-at-Arms elect Police Brigadier General Rodelio B. Hoxon to proceed to the rostrum with the members of his family for the oath taking. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name.
I, Police Brigadier General Rodelio B. Oxon, retired,
Of, please state your address.
of San Juan City.
Having been elected as Sergeant at Arms,
I be being elected as Sergeant at Arms,
hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the duties of my present position,
the duties of my present position,
and of all others
and of all others
I may hereafter hold
I may hereafter hold
under the Republic of the Philippines.
under the Republic of the Philippines,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will support and defend the Constitution,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance. I will bear.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
And that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines.
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities of the Republic of the Philippines,
And that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
Help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Session suspended.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we reopen the privilege hour.
There's a motion hearing no objection. The privilege hour is now open. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Florida Rita Robes of the Lone District of San Juan del Monte City for her privilege speech.
The Honorable Representative Rita Robes from the Lone District of San Jose del Monte is hereby recognized.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker and Majority Floor Leader. To our beloved Speaker, Merry Christmas. I come to you today to discuss a matter of grave importance to all of us. First of all, I would like to commend the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, IATF, led by our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for its steady and efficient handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Kahit may mga batikos, tuloy-tuloy pa din ang ginagawa nilang pagtugon upang makakontrol ng madaming mga kaso, and they succeeded, and that is true. For more than 26,000 cases a day, at its peak in September 2021, we are now down to less than 1,000 cases per day on average. Isang malaking tagumpay para sa ating IATF at buong national government, kasama diyan ang ating mga local government units na hindi rin humihinto upang gawin ang lahat ng kanilang makakaya upang sugpuin ang virus na ito. Of course, this would not be possible without the cooperation of our fellow Filipinos. Alam ko ang hirap na ang ating pinagdadaanan na sa halos 2 taon pero hindi tayo sumusuko. Patuloy pa din ang ating pagharap sa mga pagsubok at hindi nawawala sa atin ang mga pakikipagkapwa-tao upang tayo ay magtulong-tulungan sa panahon ng krisis. Ngunit hindi pa man tayo lubos na nakakabangon sa mga epekto ng pandemic, ito naman ay meron ulit tayong bagong kalabang variant na nagbabadya na namang ibalik tayo sa dati nating sitwasyon noong dumaragas ang Delta variant sa ating bansa. Just as many parts of the globe, including our country, have started to recover from the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Health Organization has once again raised alarm bells on new variant concern B.1.1529 or Omicron. The WHO, as I speak, is still in the process of determining how the new variant is different from the other variants, how it easily spreads, how severe one can get it from this variant and its possible impact on the current vaccines now being administered worldwide. But recent WHO data show, based on reports from South Africa, where it was first detected, that there is an increasing rates of hospitalization in the said region. The current studies are still incomplete to give us a clearer picture of what is in store. It may take several days or several weeks before new findings become available. In the meantime, we would take all precautions to enable to minimize the impact of the variant or any variant for that matter in our shores. Gusto kong batiin ang ating IATF sa kanilang agarang pag-aksyon upang tugunan ang bagong Omicron variant. Nag-impose agad sila ng mga travel restrictions sa mga bansang meron nito at binalik ang quarantine at testing sa mga pasaherong galing sa bansang nasa green list o yung may mga mababang kaso sa COVID-19. Lahat ng ito ay mabisa upang papigilan pagpasok ng Omicron sa ating bansa. Ngunit para sa akin, dahil sa ease at necessity of travel, it is not a question of if Omicron will enter the country, it is a question of when. Omicron will definitely at one point enter our country, and it's necessary that we should be prepared for it. While current data are still insufficient to determine vaccine efficiency, with some medical experts saying that existing vaccines may not be as effective in fighting this variant. Vaccination is still our #1 source of protection against COVID-19. As of November 30, our country has fully vaccinated 36.4 million Filipinos, or 33.2% of the target population. With a 3-day nationwide vaccination day, some 9.5 million shots have been administered, but the figure is still far from 70% target vaccinate rate to achieve herd immunity. There is a sufficient supply of vaccines, yes, it is true, but the turnout is not as high as the government wants it to be. It is quite unfortunate that our country has still a pervading vaccine hesitancy, especially among the elderly and those in far-flung areas. Kami po sa lungsod ng San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, may mga pantulot pa rin nagpapabakuna dahil sa mga agam-agam sa posibleng side effects nito at pati na rin ang iba't ibang klase ng relihiyon. Kaya naman ang ginawa ng aming city o ang aming lungsod sa ngayon ay lalo pang ilapit ang pagbabakuna sa mga tao. Meron kaming drive-thru vaccination sites, nighttime vaccination sites para sa mga manggagawa na pumapasok sa araw-araw at sa gabi lang ang libre nilang oras. At house-to-house vaccination para sa aming mga senior citizen, may sakit at mga kapansanan. Because of our consistent and aggressive vaccination drive, our average COVID-19 cases in San Jose del Monte has now gone down to 3 new cases on December 3, 2021. So nakakatuwa po dahil tatlo na nga lang po, konti na nga lang po ang kaba. And only have 26 active cases in the same period. Majority of our barangays have no active cases. We credit to that aggressive vaccination drive being implemented by our city government led by our Mayor Arthur B. Robes, who happens to be right now with me, as of December 3, 2021. We have been given a total of 388,692 first doses, representing 85.86% vaccination rate of our target population, and we're almost close to achieving herd community with 309,587 San Joseño now fully vaccinated, or 68.38% of our target population. This is the reason why, despite the absurdity of the crisis of the Omicron variant, getting vaccinated is single best protection we can get to fight the disease. At least from getting a severe case, ang pagbabakuna pa din ang pinakamabisang paraan upang maiwasan natin ang pagkakaroon ng severe case number ng COVID-19. Kaya importante na tayong lahat ay magpabakuna. Congratulations sa ating pong bayaning bakuna dahil alam niyo po, noong December 8 ay isang International Volunteerism Day. So ito po ang ating mga heroes ng ating bansa at ng buong mundo. In this line, I would like to appeal to the ITF and our Food and Drug Administration to expedite the approval of the emergency use applications of vaccines have already been approved for administration to 5 to 11 years of age. Ang sabi po ni DG ng ating FDA ay hindi pa raw po nag-a-apply ang Pfizer, pero kung ang aking pakiusap ay kung mag-a-apply po ay sana po mabigyan na po ito ng approval dahil marami na po mga batang nalulungkot sa kanilang mga tahanan, 5 years old and above until 11, are really, really excited to go out with their family. As we see in the mall, we can see a lot of people and family going out. And this is actually the call of the family ng pamilyang Sanuseño. Several countries, including the United States, Israel, Italy, and other countries have approved the EUA of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccines for children 5 years to 11 years old. Pfizer and Sinovac have been both expressed their intention to apply for EUA for this age group. It is very important for our FDA to act on these applications with dispatch once they apply, especially since some elementary school students have started to resume their face-to-face classes in various areas in the country. The government has allowed the pilot run of face-to-face classes in over 100 select schools last November 15 to date. Today, December 6, 2021, at least 28 public schools in the National Capital Region will take part in the pilot face-to-face classes. In fact, last week, several Metro Manila public elementary schools have started with their face-to-face classes. In a separate statement, the Department of Education over the country to the limited face-to-face classes this December will run until January 2022. Ako po isang ina at alam ko ang damdamin sa ating mga anak kapag sila ay pumapasok sa eskwela, lalo na ngayong panahon na ito ay nakaambang virus na maaari nilang makuha sa kanilang pagpasok. Nakakatakot, di po ba, kapwa ako magulang? Ang mga pilot run ng face-to-face classes ay mga bata na nasa 5 to 11 age group na hindi na bakunahan dahil wala pang bakuna na pinapayagan sa kanilang edad. Ngunit ako'y nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kasama sa IATF dahil talagang tinugunan naman po ang tunay na pangangailangan ng pamilyang Pilipino para po mabigyan ng vaccines ang ating kapwa Pilipino. Ngunit ang aking panawagan, 5 years old to 11 years old ay sana po mabigyan kaganapan na po ang vaccines na ito. Kaya aking panawagan sa ating FDA na kapag nagsabit ang vaccine manufacturers para sa edad 5 hanggang 11 years ay sana'y madaliin na ang pag-aaral, lalo na ang mga vaccines, huwag namang madaliin, maaaring tignang ng mabuti o suriin, ngunit merong isang timeline na hinahabol. Dagdagan natin ang proteksyon para sa ating mga anak na pinapayagan na nating pumasok nasa paaralan. Kung ang mga nasa kolehiyo ay pinapayagan lamang nating pumasok ang mga mayroong full vaccination, mas lalo sana natin proteksyonan ang mga mas batang estudyante na hindi bakunado. The mother in me is making this appeal to our IATF and FDA to expedite all EUA applications of vaccines for 5 to 11 age group. I am also echoing the many concerns raised by my constituents on this issue, as their children may soon find themselves back in school but without the other protection of a vaccine. In the face of this Omicron variant, we owe it to our young children to give them a fighting chance before we allow them to go back to the confines of our educational institutions. Let us protect our children. Let us give them the protection they need before they run to face-to-face classes. Thank you and God bless us all. At muli po, mabuhay po ang ating mga mambabatas. Merry Christmas po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Congresswoman Rodes. Majority Leader?
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of Honorable Rida Robes, Lone District, San Jose del Monte City, to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. So
Hearing
move,
no
Madam Speaker.
objection, hearing no objection, the speech of Representative Rida Robes is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader?
Madam Speaker, I move that we terminate the privilege hour.
Hearing no objection, the period of privilege hour is hereby terminated. Majority Leader?
Madam Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we resume consideration for third reading, House Bill number 5793. as contained in committee report submitted by the committee. For this purpose, I may ask the Secretary General to be directed to read the title of the bill.
Hearing no objection, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
House Bill 5793, an act requiring the registration of subscriber identity module cards. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill 5793 on third reading. Pante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abweg Saldivar, Abunda, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Enaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Piron, Bolilla, Bondoc, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulut, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Co Angelica, Co Elizaldi, Juanco, Collantes, Crisologo, Cua, Quaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Dimaporo, Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael, D. Ian, Ebka Secleo Elago, Enverga Erice Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero Espina Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudis, Fernandez Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Flores Fortuno, Frasco, Fetebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Geron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Goriseta, Guico, Gullas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halos Hos, Javier Jimenez, Co Elisa, Co Wilton, Kongun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Leachon, Legarda, Lim, Limcaychong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal, Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Oaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Cuano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman Romero, Romualdez Martin, Romualdez Sieda, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tamunting, Sanchez, Sangcopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulog, Savellano, Siao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrellita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Bianco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villaferte, Villanueva, Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Sarate, Subiri. Second call for consideration on third reading of House Bill 5793. Abante, Abaya, Belenosa, Bunda, Acosta Alba, Agaraw, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Arenas Aumentado, Bagatsing, Banyas Nograles, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bulot Kabatbat, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Larni, Chungalaw ko, Angelica ko, Elizalde, Coangco, Collantes, Cueva, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Michael, Dimaporo Abdullah, Duavit, Duhali, Enverga, Erice, Ermita Buhayin, Espino, Fariñas, Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Fortun, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Vincent, Garin, Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gonzaga, Gonzales Sandro, Guico, Haresco, Hernandez, Co Wilton, Comun, Lagon, Liachon, Loyola, Malapitan, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Mendoza, Nava, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nunez, Malañaon, Ordanes, Pacquiao, Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Revilla, Rivera, Roman, Romero, Roque, Sakdalan, Sangkopan, Insuat, Suarez, Aleta, Suarez, David, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan, Angelina, Tan, Samir, Tan, Sharian, Tan, Cherny, Teada, Teves, Jose, Tiangco, Torres Gomez, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Uy, Juliet, Veloso, Villa, Villaferte, Villanueva, Eduardo, Villar, Villarasa, Suarez, Villarica.
With 181 members voting in the affirmative, 6 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, House Bill number 5793 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration and third reading of House Bill number 9981. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter to call the roll for nominal voting.
Hearing no objection, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
House Bill number 9981, an act declaring the maritime zones under the jurisdiction of the Republic of the Philippines. Roll call of members in consideration on third reading of House Bill number 9981. Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abeg, Saldivar, Abunda, Acosta, Acosta, Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez, Franz, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Matong Angara, Aragones, Orbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Mentada, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Bañas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista, Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilia, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Cabuchan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Kawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro, Fredenil, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Ko Angelica, Ko Elizalde, Ko Juan, Ko Colliantes, Crisologo, Kuwa, Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino Ino, Di Faustino Michael, Di Ian, Ebka, Secleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas, Ria, Fariñas, Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer, Juliet, Ferrer, Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Goed, Gomart, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Goriseta, Gico, Gulias, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D. Hofer, Halosos, Javier, Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Kunghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Ligarda, Limlim, Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal, Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Nagaño, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Malaniaon, Uwaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Roni, Ordanes, Ortega, Uwano, Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Martin, Romualdez Yeda, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tambunting, Sanchez, Sangkopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulog, Savellano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuwat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alaysa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherni, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Chutorti Alan, T. Diego, Umali Alfonso, Umali Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waycorat, Zarate Zubiri. Second call for consideration on third reading of House Bill number 9981. Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abunda, Acosta Alba, Agaraw, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amatong, Arenas Aumentada, Bagatsing, Bañas Nograles, Bernos, Biazan, Bilyones, Biron, Bulot, Kabatbat, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Laarni, Chungalaw, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Co Juanco, Coliantes, Cueva, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Michael, Demaporo Abdullah, Duavit, Duhali, Enverga, Erice, Ermita Buhain, Espino, Fariñas Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Fortun, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Vincent, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gicog, Haresco, Hernandez, Co Wilton, Conghun, Lagon, Liachon, Malapitan, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Mendoza, Nava, Nograles, Juan, Nunez, Malanyao, Ordanes, Pacquiao Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Revilla, Roman, Romero, Roque, Sakdalan, Sangkopan, Sinsuwat, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherni, Tejada, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Torres Gomez, Tupas, Chutorti Alan, T. Diego, Uy Juliet, Veloso, Villa, Villafuerte, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica.
With 189 members voting in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, House Bill number 9981 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration and third reading House Bill number 10521, printed copies of which were distributed to the members pursuant to the rules. For this purpose, I request the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter to call the roll for nominal voting. So
Is there
move,
any
Madam
objection?
Speaker.
Hearing none, then the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
House Bill number 10521, an act strengthening professionalism and promoting the continuity of policies and modernization initiatives in the Armed Forces of the Philippines by prescribing fixed terms for key officers thereof, increasing the mandatory retirement age of generals, flag officers, providing for a more effective attrition system, and providing funds therefore. Roll call of members in consideration on third reading of House Bill 10521. Abante, Abaya, Bellanosa, Abu, Abeg Saldivar, Abunda, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Diom, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez France, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biazon, Bilyones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondoc, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulut, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabotyan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Castro France, Castro Predenil, Cayetano Alan, Cayetano Larni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Co, Angelica, Co Elizalde, Co Wangco, Coliantes, Crisologo, Cua Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Tagoc, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, De Los Santos, De Los Montalia, Di Maporo Abdullah, Di Maporo Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino Ino, Di Faustino Michael, Di Ian, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas, Ria, Fariñas, Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer, Juliet, Ferrer, Luis, Flores, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Pentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia, Pablo John, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Casataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Sandro, Seta, Guico, Gullias, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halosos, Javier Jimenez, Co Elisa, Co Wilton, Kongun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Leachon, Legardalim, Limcaychom, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Mangudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Naganyon, Nava, Nieto, Noel Nograles Jericho, Nograles Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Oaminal Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ordanes, Ortega, Uano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padiernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Martin, Romualdez Yeda, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvador Tambunting, Sanchez, Sangcopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulog, Savellano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, Aleta, Suarez, David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Alaisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Samir, Tan Shari, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Umali, Alfonso, Umali, Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy, Juliet, Uy, Rolando, Valeriano, Balmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villaferte, Villanueva Eduardo, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Biolago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Sarate, and Subiri. Second call, in consideration and third reading of House Bill number 10521. Pante, Baya, Belenosa, Bunda, Costa Alba, Agaraw, Alvarez, Pantaleon, Amatom, Arenas Aumentado, Bagatsing, Banyas, Nograles, Bernos, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bulut, Kabatbat, Kanama, Cardema, Cari, Castelo, Cayetano, Alan, Cayetano, Larni, Chungalaw, Co, Angelica, Co, Elizalde, Coangco, Collantes, Cueva, Daza de Jesus de Venecia, Defensor Michael de Dimaporo, Abdullah, Duavit, Duhali, and Verga Erice, Ermita Buhayin, Espino, Fariñas, Rudis, Fernandez, Fernando, Flores, Garbin, Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia Vincent, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gonzaga, Gonzales, Sandro, Guico, Haresco, Hernandez, Co, Wilton, Kongun, Lagon, Leachon, Malapitan, Nagudadatu, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Mendoza, Nava, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Nunez, Malañaon, Ordanes, Pacquiao, Alberto, Panotes, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Revilla, Roman, Romero, Roque, Sakdalan, Sangcopan, Sinsuat, Suarez Arleta, Suarez David, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Sharian, Tan Sherny, Tejada, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Torres Gomez, Tupas, Tutor, T. Alan, T. Diego, Uy, Juliet, Veloso, Villa, Villaferte, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica.
With 184 members voting in the affirmative, 6 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, House Bill number 10521 is hereby approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve Journal number 17, dated December 1st, 2021. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we suspend this session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session resumed.
Madam Speaker, I move that we designate the following members to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the disagreeing provisions of House Bill number 10521 and Senate Bill number 2376, prescribing fixed terms for key officers thereof, increasing the mandatory retirement age of generals and flag officers. The members of this committee is as follows: Representative Raul Tupas, Representative Rupi Biason, Representative George Bustos, Representative Manuel Cabuchan III, and Representative Godfredo Guya. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we transmit immediately the bills approved today on third reading to the Senate. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move to adjourn until tomorrow, December 7 at 2 p.m. I so move, Madam Speaker.
Motion. There's a motion to adjourn. Hearing no objection, the session is adjourned until tomorrow, December 7 at 2 p.m. Sa baba.